So I'm Leanne. I work for the for Art Explora in the public engagement team, and I organize the award and the call for application since 2021 now. And I work in collaboration with Maider, which I'll let introduce herself.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Maya. I'm the head of international development working in the UK office at Somerset House in London. Very um, happy. And yes, I've been working in the award since the very beginning. I'm always very happy to say that this started as the very first initiative of the foundation. So in 2020, just at the time of the pandemic.
Yes, and Tim, if you want to say a few words.
Yeah, hi, I'm Tim, and I'm one of the co-founders of a charity, an arts and mental health charity called Hospital Rooms, and we're based in London, but we work all over the UK. And we applied for the 2023 Art Explorer Award, and we were very lucky to win the prize for our digital art school. So I'm really looking forward to telling you a little bit about what we do in a minute.
Thank you both. So we'll now start the webinar. So just to say how we will proceed. So first of all, Maida and I will say a few words like basic and general rules about the award. So I will share my screen and a presentation. I hope everyone can see it. If you have any problems, please write us a message in the chat. You can also raise your hand or I will see it. And then, so after the presentation, Tim will say a few words and then we'll save 20 minutes for the Q&A. So if we don't answer your question right away, no worries, it's normal. So, okay, so I will let you start, Maider. I'm just sharing the screen.
Yeah, just one last thing to add to what Leanne just said is that if we haven't responded in the chat properly, we will do frequent ask and questions collected from today's webinar. So, bear with us. We will be back to you and we will send you everything we can. And of course, we're always open to have a one-on-one if your language is not English, you prefer some other languages that we can eventually, like Spanish, or we can try with other European Western countries that we have some people helping us. So please reach us if doesn't answer all your questions. Let's go directly to have a little, before we dive into the details of the award, which today we are in our 5th year. I would like to just have a quick word of who we are. So Art Explora is a non-profits organization, registers a charity in the UK and a foundation in France. Our mission is simple yet ambitious, to share culture, to share arts and culture with everyone, breaking down social, economic, and geographical barriers that could limit access and participation to. We work to inspire new encounters between arts and audiences, whether locally, nationally, or internationally. We like to think that we do this in a diverse and quite innovative ways. And of course, the most important things is that we always work in partnerships with artists, cultural organizations, NGOs, and communities across Europe. Okay, yeah. So now let's talk about the European Award. Very quickly, I think you all know the rules, but this is the best description that we can find to explain our reach. It's the award is open to all non-profit Europe cultural organizations searching for new forms of audience engagement and participation in arts and culture, supporting innovative projects across all art forms. This is very important for us, that can be shared, replicated, and scaled across Europe. I would like to say that the most important thing for us, and I have this question all the time, is like, what is really your objective? Is that the public in your programs is at the heart of the experience. The call is open. The 2025 call is open and it will run until the 9th of July. So just like more or less like school in the UK. So who can apply? As I said before, is open to all non-profit cultural organizations. This is important. that includes, regardless of the size of artistic discipline. This includes museums, theaters, grassroots to opera houses. One thing that is important, as I said before us, is that it's all art forms. We started in 2020 with fine arts, and we realized that other artistic languages were as important, of more, to creating these bridges between communities. So today it's very important that the projects go over all art forms, including theater, dance, films, arts, fine arts, everything. And we accept everything mixed as well. What is important is the innovation in reaching your public. And importantly, of course, we work with organizations in 39 eligible European countries. So this is a very generous and open Europe that we like to share. To give you a clear picture of eligibility countries, you can see in the map in blue the 39 countries. So obviously this includes the 27 EU member states, along with countries like Iceland, Liechtenstein, Norway, Switzerland, and the United Kingdom. We're very proud of being part of the European network, of course. And we have opened, as Leanne was saying this at the beginning, countries we have opened the award to the Western Balkans. It's a very important region right now for us. We just we are actually in the festival, Art Explorer Festival right now in Durrës, and we have just opened artist residence in Albania. So we really believe in extending the Europe and learning from each other. And of course, in 2025, we're also very proud of expanding Ukraine to the award this year. So the award categories every year grows. So it's important to remind everyone that we have 3 main awards based on your organization annual expenditure from last year. So depending on that, you will apply to either category 1, 2, or 3. The category 1 is for organizations with a budget lower than 500,000 euros. Category 2 is between those organizations, and it would be with an award of 40,000 euros for organizations with a budget between 500 and 2 million a year. And the last category, or big category, is the 50,000 euros, so a little bit less than 50,000 pounds for some of the UK people, and organizations with a budget over 2 million a year. So this has always been the idea of giving a fair shot to organizations, whether you're very big or very, very small, so that you can compete among each other rather than, a grassroots competing with the Opera of Paris, for example. Besides that, I'd like to say that we also, by applying, you're also eligible for 2 additional awards. This is the Audience Choice Award, very popular among our community. They will be voting, so it will be the voting of the public between probably in October, where it will make it would be not the jury, but the people, the community that elects the winner. And if by any chance has been one of the winners that the jury grants, we will pass on the upper runner. And then the Special Jury Award, which is unanimously by the jury, a project that has been extremely powerful and has huge potential, a coup de cœur in French. And now I pass it on to Leanne to talk about eligibility criteria, and probably she will go over the platform as well to
Yes. Thank you so much, Maida. So for those who just joined the session, no worries, we will send it. We will send the template plus the recording after the session. So let's now dive more into the criteria. So we have the eligibility criteria. When you are proposing a project, you can either propose a completely new project, something that you've never done within your institution, or you can propose an existing project, but for which you want to develop a new dimension. And the new dimension is important because you can propose a new edition of something you have already done, but it's important to try to highlight what is new. For instance, it can be the audiences or the format of the project. So you cannot just propose a project like just a new regular edition. It has to be something innovative because the innovation criteria is like one of the most important of the award. We are trying to find like something new. The project timeline is also very a question we always have with MIDER because when you receive the awards, if you are launching a project or delivering a new edition of an existing project, it has to be during the year of receiving the award. So, for instance, this year will be 2026. If you win the award, you will receive it around February or March, depending on the time we do to conclude or write the agreement together. So it's important to start to launch the project in the year. But of course, when you are presenting a project, it can be a longer timeline. It can be a development for 1, 2, or 3 years, but you just have to explain the different steps in your application. So this rule is important because the agreement we have together lasts for a year. So it's the reason why we are asking the launch within the year. The third eligibility criteria is about the budgetary rule, the budgetary constraint we established in the program. So it means that when you are proposing an application, you have to propose the budget of the project. And in the budget, we need to find the amount of the potential award you will win. So if you are category 3, for instance, it's an award of 50,000 euros, and it needs to be included in the project. But this award needs to be a maximum of 80% of the presented budget. So it means you have to bring to the total budget the 20%, the other 20%. So it can be from your own funds, the funds of the organization, or it can be from other financial partners. So for us, it's important that ArtExplora at the end is not the only partner, the only financial partner supporting the project. So it's ensure that your project can maybe continue or have other partners to help it. Then if I go to the selection criteria, so it's more like really about your application. You have 4 criteria to respect. The innovation, of course, so it's the ability to demonstrate what's innovative in your project, the audience in terms of audience engagement, access to arts and culture, or participation of audience. Then you have the partnership. So I was saying that you have this dimension of financial partnership, but it's also the ability to collaborate and to develop new partnership within your project. So it can be partners from the cultural sector, but it can also be partner from the medical sector or the schools, other type of associations, social associations or social group, grassroots. So it really depends, but most of the time when you are trying to work with a specific kind of audiences, you have this kind of partnership. So it's not like the most complicated criteria. Then you have the replicability. This one is very important for us because the award and the whole program of the award is also about trying to share the best practices that are developing across Europe by cultural organization. So it will be the ability of your project to be shared or replicated or scaled. So it can be within your own organization, you trying to develop or to replicate your project, but it can be also sharing models, methods within your application that can afterwards be shared with other organizations, so as a model and as an inspiration. And then final one, the impact and the reach. So it will be the ability for you to, within the project, to reach a certain number of people. So it the impact, the qualitative impact, and the quantitative impact. So don't forget to explain both: how many people you want to reach, which audiences you would like to reach, how do you manage to evaluate and to assess your reach with this project. Yeah, so it was about the criteria. Just, I will say a few words very quickly about the last winners, so it gives you maybe more ideas of the typology and the different projects we are receiving. And then you will see here below that you can find more on the projects and the 20 other shortlisted projects in the application, in the publication, sorry, we created after the award. So last year we had 5 winners, and so the first one was Udruga Skribonoti from Croatia, and it was a project within like a penitentiary center in Croatia dedicated to female inmates, and the project is about like trying to reconnect prisoners with people outside. So they organize, how do you say that, like lecture contest, literature contest with people from both outside and inside. Then we had Hungary, Trafo, an art center, like it's a big art center based in Budapest, but trying to reconnect and favorize and promote like contemporary art with the other region of Budapest, where there is not a lot of cultural center. And so it's trying to reconnect with a bus, the artists from the region that are coming to Budapest to work, but are from other region. So it's all about reconnecting and creating dialogues. We had the Centre National de la Danse based in France. So for them, it's more about like organizing once a year a specific day, a dedicated day to dance. And they are created this day with like during the whole year with dance association and professional dancers. So it's like a big day. I don't know if you're familiar with the music day we have in France especially, but it's like the same, a dedicated day but to dance. And they are developing it across France in other villages and cities. Then the 2 last winners were the Museum of Cycladic Art, and they are trying to preserve the immaterial heritage of Cycladic Island by working together with inhabitants. So it's more about like developing a digital platform with inhabitants with their testimonies and their own heritage. And the last one is a foundation Orfeo Catala, based in Spain, and they are organizing within the year and during several months program of choral and singing with, I can't remember the number actually, but a very high number of children especially in vulnerable situation. So it's all about engaging children all together within a community and learning together to think during several months and participate to workshops. So yeah, that was a few words about webinars. I hope it gives you more idea also. You can see it's very different programs, so no worries. I'm sure yours are also very exciting. So about the agenda, as Maïder said, the call for application is open until the 9th of July. And then in September, we will have a shortlisted committee we organize together the Art Explora team with volunteers of Art Explora that are trying to help us to define what are the best projects and applicants. And then we are submitting this list of 18 to 20 projects to the final jury in mid-October. And the final jury is composed of academicians from the Académie des Beaux-Arts, because as we said, it's an award in partnership with the French Académie des Beaux-Arts, Academy of Fine Arts. So it's half academician and half cultural European experts working in the field of arts. The idea is really to try to represent all the different art sectors. And then all people are invited to come to the European award ceremony in Paris, which is a special day for us because we are very happy now to organize professional workshop during the days and roundtable discussion before the award ceremony. So cultural professionals from all across Europe can meet and chat and discuss and exchange ideas. I hope I still have a minute, yes, to share some words about the platform. And of course, if you have more questions, I won't be long, but if you have more questions, do not hesitate to have it in the chat. So I will just stop the sharing to directly share the platform, because I don't know if everyone already tried to use the platform. It's quite easy. The application is not so heavy. So when you connect, you arrive on this page. This is your applicant page, and you can start an application. By starting an application, the first thing you will have to do is to fill in this first tab. Very easy. It's all about like contact details. So we make sure we can contact you if we have question and if you are also selected. So I will pass on configuration mode to see the next tabs. Of course, once you have fill in the first tab, you can browse the different tabs independently. You don't have to answer everything. So you can find here the page about your organization. So very easy to fill in, nothing very specific. And the application part. The application part is, of course, the most important for us. But you'll see it's very easy because you just have to tick some boxes or write small paragraph giving more information on your audience, the partnership. The big thing you have to submit is the general presentation of the project. But it's a light one. It's a maximum of 5 pages explaining, following the different criteria. You can just like follow the 4 criteria presented before and explain your project. So it's not very complicated, I guess. I mean, from previous applicants, we know that it was quite okay. And then you can submit the budget. You have here a budget template you can download and use if it's easier for you. Of course, we are always happy if you send us a video presentation. It's always nice to hear your own words presenting the project, but it's not mandatory. It's just sometimes more easier to understand the project. And then you have here the attachments, photos and videos of the project, of your organization, of previous projects that can like illustrate your project presented. And then the last one, closing the application, because no worries, you cannot submit by inadvertence your application. You just really have to choose it. I will stop now and give the floor to Tim because I was quite long. But of course, if you have more questions, we'll discuss that later. I'll share the screen, Tim.
Great, thank you very much. And I'm really happy to be here. I'm a huge fan of ArtExplorer, obviously. I'm just the slides are loading. I'm Tim, like I said before, and I'm one of the co-founders of an arts and mental health charity called Hospital Rooms, and we're based in Bow in East London. And we started the charity 9 years ago, and that was because a good friend of my partner and I was sectioned. So she was in a mental health unit, and I'm an artist, my partner's a curator, and we just thought, why can't we try and improve these mental health units with art? We spent a good while trying to get a single project off the ground, and then just the two of us for the first few years went around doing really ambitious projects in mental health units, working with some incredible artists, and we've kind of built the charity from there. We applied for the 2023 ArtExplorer Award, and we were very lucky to win, and that was for our digital art school. So our digital art school is a sort of separate project that we do, which isn't directly working inside the mental health units. We can only work on a few projects in different hospitals every year, Digital Art School was a way of reaching everyone, or anyone who wanted to be a part of the Digital Art School and mental health unit could be. And we started it in a sort of smaller way in 2020 during lockdown when we couldn't get into the wards for a few months. We started doing these we started filming them off a bit of wood in our flat. And then we started getting some really great artists to lead sessions from their studios for anyone in a mental health unit to take part in. We found out really soon, really early on when we were doing our evaluation, that it was very hard for anyone to take part because they didn't have art materials, and it's very bureaucratic in the mental health system. So we started doing a giveaway of a box of art materials every term to the first 50 mental health units that got in touch. They'd always go in the first minute. So we thought this is something we really need to think about. How do we scale this? And we applied for the Art Explorer Award, and we took a little break, and we thought what we want to do is relaunch the Digital Art School in a much bigger way, use all the sort of 3 years worth of evaluation, all the data that we'd collected, everything that we'd learned from that, and sort of, make Digital Art School anew. And we developed it since then. One of the ideas was to send materials to every single unit in the country. So we wanted to make 750 big boxes of art materials to send out. And we also wanted to build a new website. We wanted to film everything much more professionally. We wanted to make sure that anyone who's under section, if they want to, can take part in our digital art school. And each one is led by an artist who any art school in the world would be happy to have as a lecturer. So in the picture here, this is actually filmed in our office, one of our offices in East London. We usually film in the studios, but this is Jose Parla, who is a Cuban American artist. He's incredible. He's done the new One World Trade Center mural, which is, I don't know, about 50 meters long. There's a big a big library in Manhattan that has his artwork around the outside. He's had a show in Brooklyn Museum. And I think it's really special that he does these workshops specifically for people who don't have access to any of this kind of stuff. Our last program, we had couture designer Giles Deacon, and our new term is going to have artists like Michaela Ubadan, who's got a solo show coming up at Hauser and Wirth, and is absolutely incredible. And she's going to be leading this paper flower making workshop. By paper flowers, these are amazing. She took a break after a show, and she got married to her wife, and I think she spent like a couple of months just making paper flowers. So she's sharing that with us when we relaunch again the next year in a couple of months. And this is just an example of one of our boxes from last year. So Jose Parla designed the box. We filled the box with several £100s worth of materials, and we made 750. It was quite interesting because we tried to get the information on how many mental health inpatient sites there are in the country. We asked, I won't go through them because but a lot of the sort of big public bodies, and everyone had a different answer. And even when we contacted the units, they had different answers. We've done a lot of research, and actually we found we need to make more. So currently we're packing 1,000 of these boxes that we're sending out with the idea that they feel really special. So they're a bit like a luxury fashion box. They've got a little magnetic lid. You open it up. They have all the information you need for if you're in a secure unit or a child and adolescent unit or a mother and baby unit. The materials are safe. People know how to use them. And there's lots of digital resources we've managed to make, like how to upload works to our website after. We're building an interactive 3D gallery for our website. And the award's been really useful for all of that. For us, it's been such a fantastic experience, not just to win the award, but also to get access to all the incredible network of finalists from across Europe. And we've had lots of fruitful conversations, feedback, and we've been developing how the Digital Art School program, could be replicated and expanded beyond England, and exploring new languages, including doing it in Welsh and French so far, but more to come. And the other expansion is trialing how the program could work outside of mental health. So we started leading trials with our Art Explorer and bringing the project into care homes in the UK. You'll see a few of the stats here. This is from our first year. We're about to relaunch, and we've got another year coming. I mean, we're a sort of bigger organization now. We're 25 people. When we won the award, we were probably half that. You know, we were quite a small, scrappy organization. I wouldn't be put off if you're a much smaller or younger organization than us. They really have been incredibly supportive. The Arctic Explorer Award, the money is very generous and it's very helpful, but everything around that really is a bit of a game changer. So I'm very grateful to Arctic Explorer. They played a big role in digital art school growing for us to reach more people, and I think we have a bigger impact than ever because of them. So thank you for me, and I really would encourage you to apply. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. Just we haven't paid Tim to say that. I think it's very
What? I thought there was some money coming my way. No, there's
No, it's so nice of you. Thank you so much, Tim. But it's also because your project is great, and it's fantastic. So we are always very happy to help you. That's why I was mentioning at the beginning of the session that the award is not only about financially supporting a project, but it's really about trying to develop a network. So we are actually trying to really develop a formal network, but we also have this informal network of shortlisted projects, of winners of the award, but also just cultural professional that were just at some point applicants and are always happy to attend professional workshops we're organizing or to be in contact, trying to be in touch with other professional that they met at some point and that they knew we can connect with. So yeah, we are very happy to support all these applicants. So I think we are done now. So I will just maybe let you stop the sharing of the screen and answer your question if you have some. You can either write a message, or I think you can also speak if you want. I can let you speak if it's easier. But thank you so much for attending. So I think there was a question about the number of application. So it's varies every year, but as Maida said, it's about 200 applications. We are carefully reading everything and reaching you if we have some questions. So it's also why the agenda is that long. It takes us sometimes to go through all the application, and so they are not that long. We need to discuss it with other member of the team, especially because so it's not only the public engagement team who are working with us on the application. We are trying to involve other member of the team. So it can be sometimes the artistic team, the digital team, when there is a digital aspect in the application. Of course, the volunteer team, because in Art Explorer, this team is important. They are working a lot with audiences. So give us highlights. Oh, hi. I don't know, guys, if you have question. Also, you can do not hesitate to reach us directly by email. We will answer, and we can also answer question directly about the application. You can send us the application, and we'll try to help you. We will be helping you during the next few weeks. I think that's it. So if you don't have more question, I'm very happy. Yeah, I can receive a lot of question now. I can see that the Teams project was very inspiring for you. I'm trying to open one. Can you say a little more about innovation? Do you want to start, Maida? Oh,
yes. Yes, I think, for example, innovation, you can find it in many different ways. Obviously, is in the engagement. How easy can be a concept? But for example, in the case of Tim, the innovation was to bring a full artistic class by bringing you a box that they partner with an artistic supplier. So I think also the innovation comes from thinking out of the box and thinking things differently in a way that your audience and you're going to have an impact. They started actually with a friend, and they knew by researching and by going, what is the place and what can bridge that gap that exists between people closed in hospitals or psychiatric hospitals and artists. It's two worlds different. So it's about finding ways where and it can be as simple as dancing, like last year. It can be as simple as knowing your audience, listening to them. And usually what we find is that when you listen and you kind of do this for them, with them, it becomes already innovative because it's successful at reaching the person that you want to reach. Examples. Do you want to go,
Yeah.
Lea?
I have one example because I think it's always inspiring, especially if your organization is closing soon or something like that. But once we had, so one of the winner was the Museum of Ixelles, based in Belgium. And because they were closing for several years and they are only reopening this year, so I think it was about like 6 years of closing, and they wanted to continue to share the collection of the museum with people. So they decided to how do you say it? Like to share an artwork with the different neighbors. So neighbors were have this possibility to choose a network of the collection and to welcome it at their place during a weekend. And the idea was also to let your door open during the weekend, to let people, it can be of course your family and friends, but also people just passing by the streets, and open push your door and discover the artworks. And the neighbors were also able to develop their own content and explication about why they choose these artworks and why does it represent for them. So it's also very inspiring because for them they were always explaining that the project was not very complicated to implement, but it was perfect, to make sure the collection was still living and be shared with the community and the audiences around the museum. Yeah. So, but that's why you can download the publications on our website because
Another one that I love is, for example, an organization that won last year, going to Greece with to a immigration camp where they would teach the kids that were in the families, that they were almost doing, kind of lost, and they will give them training on storytelling, both by cinema and by stories, at the same time as writing. So this created a program that held them a structure, gave them these tools to understand, and especially to give their voice and explain their stories within their own words and within their own images, and then share these in schools in Greece. Irundo. So in a way, it's finding ways that where art can really be a tool for social transformation.
Yeah.
Seems very big, but sometimes it's in the very little steps where you're close to the community and you listen to them and apply something that it can be impactful.
And to answer about the support of 5 application, yes, it's correct. So the award goes to 5 different organizations. But as we have between 18 and 20 shortlisted projects, we are also trying to highlight this project, especially by creating communication tools for the project and creating this publication. Which is a real booklet that is printed but also available online freely. We are trying to do advertising also around this publication, because it's a real toolbox for cultural professionals to get people inspired, to be in contact also with the people who have developed projects, because in this publication we try to present the project plus gives details about the budget, the contact detail of the people carry on the projects. So Yeah, unfortunately, as it's a contest and it's there's only like 5 real winners, but that's why we are trying like to develop more things. I mean, the best we can for all the shortlisted applicants, and also organizing this professional workshop to make sure we can also invite people to meet and exchange before the award ceremony. Where
And
can yeah,
as Steve was saying before, I think it goes beyond the award. I think it becomes a network, it becomes a family. We know each other, we know what we do, we invite them to presentations. We have a festival and we need someone. It's really, we play in very different fields across Europe, and the award is an excellent source of amazing content that is happening in Europe right now in terms of audience engagement. So it's always an honor for us to meet all these fantastic organizations. And for example, last year we put people in contact from England to Spain, and they're working together in a new project. And they met at the award ceremony, discussing their project through workshops. So yes, it goes beyond, and we support financially 5, but we go beyond that.
Yeah, so I just shared like the link, but I will re-put it on the email. But you have the link to all the previous publication we have done that can give you ideas of the different projects shortlisted. So I guess there was one more question about if a project is already running annually, you require a new innovation added to the project that could be financed. Yeah. It's exactly that. So you have to tick the box on the application platform actually, whether it's a new project or an existing project with a new dimension. So then you just have to make sure in your application that you will highlight on the spot, like what is actually the new dimension. And of course, explaining what was the previous project.
I guess that kind of applies to us.
Yeah.
The digital art school had been going for 3 years, and we relaunched it in a different way. And we learned a lot from it, but then we brought in a big new dimension to it. So yeah, that worked for us anyway.
Yes. Yes, sometimes we receive like this project lectures that have been running for several years, and they're trying to take the next step, what is like the big next step for the project. Or we receive project like with pilot project. So they have done a pilot project for a year, and now it's like the real big launch with a like big format project. I mean, when I say big, it's always the same. Like when we are talking about impact, for instance, we know that some projects won't reach thousands of people, and it's okay. It's not about that. You just have to explain that the project will be reaching like, I don't know, 50 people, but there is this whole process around the project and the whole engagement that you are trying to develop, for instance. So no worries like about the number of people reach, for instance. Yes. So
It can also be a new territory, new geography.
Yeah, I think so. Juliet, working with in my team, is just sharing with you the rules and the whole rules. It's interesting if you had time, like to go through the whole rules, because you have more explanation also on the selection criteria, because I was a bit brief, but it gives you an example. And you can find everything on the website page of the award. Of course, it can lead you to the publication, the rules, the application platform. And yeah, don't try. Of course, you can reach us anytime you want. We'll be happy to discuss with you. I think we can stop now. Thank you so much for your kind words and for joining us this morning. If other member of the team, if at some point you want to join a new webinar, it will be possible in May. We have another date in May. I think it's on the 15th. The one in English. We wish you a very nice day. Thank you so much, Tim, for joining.
And a fantastic Easter to everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tim. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.